Yeah, let me just start with this. Usually when I call Mark and I hear some sounds around him, and I ask him, Mark, where are you? What are you doing? It's minus 20 degrees outside. And he tells me, oh, I'm about to finish my 20-kilometer marathon. So this is the kind of person I'm talking to today. So Mark, let me just start with this. What makes you want to run 20K every day?
To be humble, first of all, it's not every day. I wish it was one day, hopefully. I'm a marathoner. I run multiple marathons a year. To do that, you need to train aggressively, at least if you want to do a competitive time. I am a competitive person by nature, so I need to keep my fitness levels up. So to do that, you need to run a lot. At the same time, it's also my kind of meditation. It's difficult in today's world to be alone with your thoughts. Sometimes I use music when I run, but a lot of other times I don't, because you need to go inside, deep inside your mind, and try to fight the demons, like they say.
Mm.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. Some people would say, oh, this guy has demons, he should go to therapy, or he should see a specialist. No, for me, physical challenges and endurance especially is the best kind of therapy, because there's no way, no other place to run to, and you are face to face with these monsters and you need to overcome them, and I love it.
There's this thing people say, there's like this runner's high. Is that a real thing? Like after you run a few kilometers, you start being in this euphoric state of mind. Is that a real thing?
Great question. It is real, and it's delayed in a run. When you start running, you're not going to get high within the 5 first minutes or 10, 20 first minutes. For me personally, because it's probably different from a person to another, for me personally, it's towards the end when you're about to finish your goal. It hits you. It hits you so aggressively that you start smiling. Sometimes you're screaming. It's a difficult to describe feeling. You have to live it to understand, because endorphins and dopamine are pumping in your blood. So it is definitely real. It's scientifically proven. And I urge every person to experience this at least once in their life.
You know, what I find funny is that pretty much everyone I know works out in some way or another. People go to the gym, people lift weights, people run on the treadmill. But running marathons is a different game. It takes a special kind of athleticism to be able to just finish the race. Why did you get into this? Like, why running long distance? Is it just because you found yourself being able to just free your mind, like you were saying earlier? Was there no other solution?
Every marathoner started for a reason. I moved from Lebanon when I was 24. I grew up playing football very frequently with the same people. And when I moved here, I found it difficult to organize games, to find people. And then when I did find games and started playing with strangers, it was hard to replicate the same chemistry I had with my friends growing up. And it made me honestly dislike the game I grew up loving. So I moved away a bit from it, but I wanted something to make me feel athletic. So I started running just randomly, 5K from here, 10K from there. And I discovered a feeling, which is probably the runner's high, and I became addicted to it. And it started small. I used to run once a week. And then I got introduced to a few people who were more advanced than me, who knew more what they were doing. And they would always say, oh, I want to run a marathon one day and whatnot. And I had never thought of a marathon. Like, what is even a marathon? Honestly, that was less than 3 years ago, until I signed up for one. One day I just woke up, maybe it was in July and the marathon was in September. I woke up, I signed up. And now it became real. You can't show up to a marathon if you're running a 10K on a Sunday every week. No, you need to run 4 times a week, 5 times a week. You need to eat well, you need to sleep well. It's a whole science. And I'm kind of a perfectionist, to be honest. I like to do things properly. I'm competitive, so I didn't want to just go and cross the finish line, even though it's my first. Actually, it's what happened towards the end of it. It's you're forced to sacrifice your ego because it's your first time. But it wasn't that bad. I ended up in a nice percentile for my age and gender, whatever. And it introduced me to the sport. And since then, I ran 6 marathons. And every time I improved on the previous time in ranking time, all these things. I hope it answers your question.
Marc, running marathons, working out is just a little part of what you do. You know, I know you well now. You're the founder of QUIC. You have a social media presence. You work out a lot. You're all around the place, attending events. So it takes a special kind of person to also maintain this rhythm. So maybe let's just first talk a bit about your social media. Recently, you've been posting a lot more, and people are genuinely interested in this kind of motivation. If I see someone doing something extreme while I'm sitting at the office on my laptop and typing different things, and I see someone running around running around Montreal, it makes me envious and makes me want to do it as well. So maybe explain to me first why you started posting and what's the plan behind that?
I think we live in an attention economy. This is what I like to call it. I think an online presence is a weapon these days. You can access thousands of people. People don't realize if you get 10,000 views on a video or 100,000, they don't realize the scale of the viewership and the audience. Imagine a stadium with 100,000 people just watching you for 10 seconds. Your message is heard. And my other favorite part about it is it holds you accountable. Because when you're posting to your followers and you don't follow up on what you claimed, you will lose credibility. So in a way, I do it for myself, to hold myself accountable, and to also inspire people to try what I tried, because I faced the challenges of a beginner. You don't wake up and decide to be extreme and go into endurance sports, start a social media page, launch a startup, whatever. It's step by step. It's a process. It's a lifetime of trial and error. And people need to understand that anyone can do it. Like I'm not even 10% into where I want to be, but I'm 10% or 5% more advanced than people who never started. This is my mission, kind of. Hold myself accountable, tell people it's not impossible, and inspire them to try.
Previous one. If we're being honest, some of the recent videos you've been posting, I'm not going to say they're extreme, but you're really hitting some sensitive topics or sensitive points.
Mm-hmm.
Telling people that taking care of your physical body is something that everyone can do. I mean, I'm really saying it in a kind way.
I hear you.
But you're really trying to push people, but you're taking a different tone.
Mm-hmm.
It's not generic advice that they read online. It's like, if I can do it, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to work out. You can hold yourself accountable. You can't blame anyone else. That's the tone you're taking. Why?
The truth is harsh. We live in a harsh world. You can lie to people. You can pretend you're this person or you're that person. But the worst thing you can do as an individual is lie to yourself. And this is something I understood. And I think young men specifically are struggling with. I don't specify in my content or on my page that my audience is mainly young men, but obviously it is, because I am a young man myself and I had to go through this experience or experiences myself. Why do you get rage baited? Because there's some truth to it, a truth you don't want to hear. So if you're sitting at home, you're out of shape, you're 20 kilos overweight, eating chips, and you're scrolling on your phone and my video comes up and it tells you something and it bothers you, why is it bothering you? Maybe because it's real. Unfortunately, you have to be genuine. And when you're posting, you have to be genuine and you have to say sometimes the hard truths to get engagement from strangers. This is how you grow your page on social media. I am a genuine person. If I think something, I'm gonna let you know. And as my friend, I think you can double down on that. So this is mainly my goal. It's speak my mind, speak the truth, and especially the truths that might trigger change. I haven't invented this method. You can look back to people like Nietzsche, like any David Goggins, Cristiano Ronaldo. These people, they preach the same thing. They're just ahead of me in what they've accomplished. But there's no reason I cannot accomplish the same things if I keep doing this for 10 years. I've only been doing it for 2 and 3 years, and the content only 2-3 months. So this is my mission again.
And I'm here to say that the Marc you see on the screen is the Marc in real person.
Thank you.
which is refreshing. Is refreshing. Obviously, a big part of your life is the company you're building, QUIC. So let's do something interesting. Hit me with an elevator pitch.
If you're a fitness trainer or a gym or a community leader, you're struggling by using multiple tools. You're using social media for engagement and marketing. You're using booking and payment apps for organization. And you're using reward programs randomly all over the place for retention. It's fragmented, it's expensive, and it's hard to scale. The solution is QUIC. It's a social fitness aggregator where users, since it's a social media platform, can find, join, create their own events or their friends' events. They can buy tickets, they can buy membership subscriptions. And if you're an organizer or a business, you get exposure to these users. And the catch is that everyone earns points. The points are redeemable within the app. We have a built-in e-com on the app where you can exchange your points for fitness-related purchases like services, gym apparel, clothing, memberships, whatever you can think of, whatever we can put on the app. It streamlines an existing ecosystem. I'm not reinventing the wheel. QUIC just makes it simpler for everyone involved.
So let's go back a bit to the root cause, the problem itself.
The what?
The what. Maybe explain to us a bit the current state of the industry. I mean, you said everything's scattered. People have to go through different apps or websites. Maybe existing platforms don't have the sufficient features for people. So pin down the problem very specifically. Me as a trainer or me as a user. What does this give me?
The way you pitch a startup, and I think it's something you know, is different when you're pitching to an investor or you're pitching to a user or a business. And I think it's interesting and worth noting that down so that we can explore different perspectives. The what? I'm going to tell it to you as if you're a user to inspire you to use the app. I have friends, like maybe not a lot, but I have friends like normal people. And some of them struggle with being consistent in training and in fitness. Because I'm a good friend and because I care, I try to push them all the time. And sometimes maybe you're a bit too pushy because you're really on a different level than them and they don't understand it. So I started struggling to motivate them enough by telling them, hey, I'm going to do this workout, I'm going to do that workout. They would just not join and I would struggle to understand why. And then I realized it's because we're on very different levels. But I also realized that when you put them on the same level with people, on their same level to be exact, they might go. I wanted to experiment. So I created a WhatsApp group with people of different levels and I started suggesting easy workouts, accessible workouts. And they started joining. So I learned a very big lesson there. They're just afraid of people more advanced than them, and they are willing to join if they feel kind of safe with people similar to them. I experimented over a few months, and I realized that there is space in the market to create a sort of social matching app that isn't necessarily a dating app because the market is oversaturated, but more of a sports exclusive social media app. Something like a mix between Strava, Instagram, WhatsApp, all these features into one very streamlined app without overcomplicating things. And this is how the idea of QUIC was born. I wanted people to organize easily. You post an event, your followers see it, and whoever wants to join clicks on RSVP or buys a ticket. And this is where it goes back to businesses. So if you're a trainer, you can post a paid event and it helps you monetize your community without having to create Excel sheets and tracking every person, asking them to send you the money, the transfer. It just streamlines the whole operation, gives you analytics, who's been coming week after week, what's working, what's not working, what events people like more than others. And it gives them rewards, so it brings them back. I hope it answers your question.
You know, whenever someone moves to a new city, the best advice that people say they got is join a gym, join a running group, do some kind of activity. Because like it or not, the best way to actually meet people outside work is to do activities, is to do sports activities. And, you know, you run with people, you suffer with people, you work out with people. It creates a certain bond. And since it's something usually repetitive, then you end up creating those relationships. So I think it's very important that you're emphasizing the social aspect of it. They can actually look at what people experience, look at the images they posted. And even from the business perspective, I think it's something that I've seen. I was in a boxing studio for a while, and some of the trainers were doing those side quests or side lessons. It was very difficult for them. They were great, but it was just very difficult to get the word out there.
All over the place.
Yeah. I mean, how do you, as someone who's really good at one thing, you don't want to think about building a website and building something specifically for you. You just know how to give classes. You don't just know how to train people. So might as well do what you're doing on a platform that already has all this engagement. So I completely get it.
Are you looking for a job, by the way?
I completely get it. And I think anyone watching, again, the easiest way to meet people is always to join some kind of workout activity.
Suffer together.
Yeah, exactly. Like if we talk about the scene in Montreal, because that's where you're based and that's where you're growing this. Talk to me a bit about the environment here. How are people looking at this? Is this welcomed? Is this people fear the unknown? What do you think?
Yes, I wouldn't be where I am today. We've been building this app for 2 years. I'm not taking credit for it. I have a team of multiple people who have dedicated hundreds, if not thousands of hours. And some money, not a lot, but some money, because we're a bootstrap organization. They believe in it because, in part, the feedback is overwhelmingly positive. We've had feedback from people on Shark Tank. We've had feedback from businesses. Every time I pitch the idea, I don't even have to show them the app. Just by explaining the idea, they tell me, "Oh, where can I download it and sign up? I have stuff I would love to sell to these to your users." When I talk to run clubs, they tell me, "Oh, it's a great tool." When I talk to gym owners or fitness trainers, they tell me, "I would love it. It solves the problem that you just described." And that's why I asked if you wanted a job, because it seems like you can sell my product as good as me.
Well, it's difficult to fake enthusiasm like this. So I obviously believe in it. I believe in you.
Thank you.
So Marc, let me move to the why you.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is very important. You mentioned Shark Tank. If anyone watched any episode, no matter how good your product is, no matter how good your pitch is, if you can't answer this very simple question, why are you the best person to build this product? Then you lose all credibility. Although I know the answer, tell me, why are you the best person to build something like this?
I'm going to keep the answer very short. I think just by going on my Instagram, you will get your answer. My life is publicized. I share everything I do. I talk the talk and I walk the walk. So just go on my Instagram and it will give you the answer. I am an athlete. I struggled to motivate my friends for some reasons, and then I found a solution and it worked, and I tracked it, I measured it, and now I have proof for it. And then I went on and built a product with all my learnings. So I think I am the person. I think I am the right person for this product.
Where's the camera? He really is like this in real life. It's crazy. Before getting here, I was talking to Marc. I'm like, because we live close to each other, and he asked me, "So how do you want to go? Like, what time you want to go?" I'm like, "I'm gonna order an Uber in like 20 minutes." He's like, "Uber? Are you crazy? We're either gonna walk there. Do you know who you're talking to?" So yeah, at this point, I'm like, "Oh, right, this is Marc." So we can't Uber anywhere. We gotta walk and suffer to get to the studio. But yeah, that's the kind of person you are. So Marc, let's move to another topic. The reality of building a company. Right? It's like a sexy term, entrepreneurship. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, but the truth is a bit brutal. Can you talk to me a bit about over the past 2 years? What are some like brutal truths that you came to realize?
Brutal truths. Not anyone can start this. I was lucky enough to work hard, get a lot of savings, not even a lot, but enough to sustain me for a small period. I was lucky also enough to have a solid network from my younger years that I could rely on to invest in my idea as partners and as co-founders. And I don't believe in luck. Actually, I believe you make your own luck. So when you manifest something, when you show positive attitude, people will help you. That being said, like you defined, entrepreneurship is all nice and funny and cute until the reality hits. You need to pay your bills. I had my fair share of fun, but right now I'm actually working a full-time job because I need to pay my bills. But what the year and a half of entrepreneurship allowed me to do is build a system where, despite having to work multiple hours a day on my full-time job to feed myself and my two cats, I was able to automate the whole operation by just overseeing the operation, making sure everyone is doing something small or big to make sure the project is advancing. So you need income, you need money. These things don't pay for themselves. And you need a system that is working when you're sleeping. And it's just a matter of time. I really believe that this company is going to generate a lot of money, not because I'm delusional. I am delusional, but it's not because I'm delusional. It's because I studied the market. I studied the potential of this with specialists. And it's just a matter of time if the right boxes keep on getting checked.
There's no guidelines. There's no how-to entrepreneurship.
I wish there was.
But it does feel like, with all the videos you see out there, that people, I'm not sure what the term is, when they make it look nice and easy.
Decorated.
Yeah, I mean, they really sugarcoat the difficulty.
Yeah.
And the struggles that you go through.
Mhm.
I mean, you're a guy who runs marathons. Yeah, I'm going to keep mentioning it. You're a guy that runs marathons in the snow. Yet you still find it difficult mentally just to sustain. And what about your entourage? Like, what about people around you? When you start doing something, everyone gets excited. But after like a few weeks, a few months, this kind of dies down. So how do you keep that drive?
It's important to mention the marathons. Yeah, okay, it's nice to flex that you run marathons, but it's not the only reason. Like, I don't care about the views to some extent. The reason is to condition your mind, for difficult things, for hardships. I always start my Mondays with a long and difficult run, because if you start your week with the hardest thing you can do all week, whatever life throws at you, you're just going to accept it and you're going to be resilient to it. We're both of us are Lebanese, and it's not easy to grow up in Lebanon and then move across continents, start again. This is where the resilience that you build over the years pays off and goes back to. And marathons emphasize that. They add to it, and they honestly make your mind bulletproof to all the hardships. So the biggest gain you can get from suffering is resilience. And I encourage every person to suffer. If you're in the gym lifting weights and you're not suffering, you're not feeling pain, you're not working hard enough. And you're going to feel it in other things. You have to apply the same discipline and consistency and resilience in everything you do. And you will see the results of it in how people talk to you and how people look up to you, how you inspire them.
So you got to be 100% in everything that you do. That's how you look at it.
You got to try.
It's not I'm working, so now I got to push myself, and after work I'm just going back to 5% debt.
Exactly. Like, you finish work and you're going to go back home, you're going to be tired. If you sleep, your day is gone. If you go out and train, you will grow. You will grow your mindset, you will grow your resilience, you will grow your physical strength, and it will translate to other aspects of your life. This is how you do it, unfortunately. And there's this thing Andrew Huberman talks about. I don't know if you know him. It's a famous neuroscientist. It's called the mid-cingulate cortex or something. And they studied and realized that it grows every time you do something that you don't want to do. And they found a link to how long you live. And the conclusion was, you live longer if you train your mind to do things you don't want to do. That's one small aspect of it. People need to look into it and start getting out of their comfort zone. Otherwise, they will never grow.
Is it something that you talk about your upbringing. Is it something that you feel is because of the environment you grew up in to have this kind of drive, or is just something you learn along the way that you weren't always like this, but it's kind of like how life eventually gets to you, and you're like, if I want to actually get to my big dreams, big goals, I gotta up my game.
Upbringing definitely plays a role. Again, Lebanon is a shaky country. There's always something going on politically, militarily. You need to survive that first of all, and then whether you stay there or you move out, it's gonna reshape you. It's gonna give you a sense of throw shit at me, I can take it. You know, and obviously the journey as well is gonna play a role. The people you meet, the experiences, the setbacks. But the most important thing is your mindset. You have to condition your mind to accept that shit is gonna happen. The richest people out there, you think Elon Musk doesn't have problems? You think he doesn't stress? He's the richest man alive. He's gonna be the first trillionaire in history. And you're stupid if you think that this guy has not suffered or he has it all pretty and his life was easy. Absolutely not. If his life was easy, he would never have worked as hard as he has, you know? And this is a very, very deep and core belief that I possess.
I think the worst thing you can have in your life is nothing going on, being bored. So I'd rather climb uphill than just being unchallenged
Mhm.
all day, every day. And that's real. I mean, it's not for everyone. Like I say, I mean, I know people are very happy with just being, just existing, and that's fine. But I think, like you
I
said,
like it. I like it. I'm sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
but I like that people are happy because it makes it easier to outcompete everyone else. And when you reach the top, you realize it's lonely because most people they just don't care. And it's more for you. It's more win for you.
whenever people around me know that I'm originally Lebanese, they smile. They smile because they say, you know, you're people who like to have fun, who enjoy life. But this entire conversation was about the struggles and the pain and, you know, the road to success. So talk to me a bit about the positive side, like the joy that all this brings you.
I think every man has to realize at some point that the end goal is not to be happy. I think happiness is for children. And when you start suffering and working hard and then you reap the benefits, you will realize that this is extremely more joyful and rewarding and satisfying than whatever else. So don't chase happiness, chase the journey, chase the struggle. I'm not even inventing this. You can open a Bible and read it. You can open any other religious book. They all talk about suffering because people for thousands of years understood this simple principle. If you get everything that you want, you can just stop. But what's the point in that? You said you need a mountain. Elon Musk is trying to go to Mars. He has Tesla making him so many billions of dollars. And yet he's launching his robots, the Optimus robots. He wants to run the government, at least he tried to. He wants to go to Mars, like I said, populate it. Like, man, why don't you go on an island and retire? Why is Trump running the US at 80 years old? Not endorsing him or anything, but why is he doing that? We have politicians in Lebanon who are almost 90 and they're still doing it. As much as you don't like them, you need to think why they're still doing it. You know what I'm saying? And when you look into it, you will find the answer, and it's going to become obvious to you.
It's, how do you call it? It's the love of the game.
There you go.
It's just, I think it goes back to what we were saying earlier. If you just have everything you want, like you just said, then what's the point? What are we doing? Right? Like, if you don't have a reason to struggle, then life is just boring. Life is
100%.
just, you're just waiting, essentially, waiting for it to be over.
Mhm.
A bit dark and dramatic way to put it, but I completely vibe with that. I think, you know what, Mark? I think people who don't look at life this way, it's very difficult to hang out with them. I think it's that's why, you know, I think we became friends. It's
Mhm.
because we're doing completely different things, but we have our own challenges.
Mhm.
And I respect that in you.
Thank you, Antoine.
And I respect anyone who's like, whatever you're doing, it could be something super technical, it could be artistic. But if you have something you want to achieve, then it just makes you a more interesting person,
Exactly.
right?
I fully agree, Antoine. And people who don't chase that, they know that they're not going to achieve something and they're happy with it. So you can't force someone to do it. But as you said, whatever the other person is doing, who's on a different path, the path of success, the path of growth, whatever they're doing, you cannot but owe them respect and the praise that they deserve because they're working towards bettering themselves, towards growing their brand, whether it's artistic, sports, startup, technology. I fully agree.
I think you can sense passion. You know why? Is because if I'm sitting in a room on a table with a bunch of people I just met, and you just know who's passionate. Like there's someone who's just existing, and there's someone talking about something, no matter the topic. Like they're talking about, I don't know, the texture of the food. Who cares?
I don't like these people.
Yeah. No, but passion is good.
Yeah.
Passion is good. No matter what you're passionate in, it's nice to have something you're really into.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's something that's a goal that's far away, it's even better because just you wake up, you have something to look forward to. Are you the type of person who has those 3 goals, 3, 4, 5 goals, and you're fixating on them for the past year or 2 or however long you were, and you're like, these goals will not change, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get to these goals? Or are you more opportunistic? If I see something better, I'm gonna shift to something better, because these are completely 2 different mindsets.
Mm-hmm.
How do you look at this?
I got offered a very interesting position recently by my mentor, actually. And he started asking me, is this something you want to do? And I'm like, how on earth am I going to say no to this? You're opening the biggest store in my life. I told you I built a system for my startup that makes sure that it's operating regardless of what I'm doing. All I have to do is check in for 30 minutes, 1 hour a day, make sure everyone is doing what they're supposed to do, just to advance the operation by 1% every day. So this is the first thing. Second thing, of course, I'm opportunistic. I'm launching a few e-commerce businesses this year because I find opportunities here and there. And if it's kind of easy and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort, which is what the internet has enabled us to do in the last 10 and 15 years, e-commerces are a brilliant way to set up passive income. I'm going to jump on it. What is it going to take me? An investment of 50 hours? That's nothing. That's 1 week of work, 2 weeks of work, whatever, however you look at it. And this is my dream. QUIC has been my dream for 2 years now. I've invested money, I've invested passion, I've invested effort, and I'm going to make it work. And it was my mindset since day one because I have people to prove wrong. I have myself to prove right. And I want to be up there. I want to be remembered one day. And I will be. And people are going to talk about you, Antoine, and this podcast because hopefully one day we're going to be on the Rogans and all these people talking about Rogan loves sports. So maybe he will have me and we will talk about marathons.
You see, guys, this is the kind of drive you must have. I mean, I'm glad your true colors are showing here. It's always good talking to you, man.
My final message is thank you for giving me the platform to share my story and my experiences. I hope if you're watching that you apply 5% of what I've been saying because trust me, it works. It works. So stop being lazy. Go out there and get shit done. That's what I always say.